to the Rugby League History channel. Tonight I'll be reviewing the World Cup final between Australia and Samoa. The match was played at Old Trafford and Australia run out winners to claim their 12th World Cup title. So plenty to talk about in this game. I gave me thoughts in the preview video about what I thought were going to happen, and today I'm just going to be talking about the review. So to start the game, I thought that both sides started quite well. I thought Samoa, they played quite well in that opening 10 minutes or so. I thought that they were going set to set with Australia. I thought that, judged on what I was seeing in the first 10 minutes, I thought this could actually be a very close match if Samoa can keep up with Australia. And then the first controversial moment of the match happened quite early on. Chanel Harris-Tavita, our dummy half, kicked the ball for a 40-20, and the referee and the touch judge said no. Tedesco got to the ball before it went out of play, and he scooped the ball back on field. But when it actually went to the replay there, you could clearly tell that Tedesco was out and the ball was out, so it should have been a 40-20 to Samoa. But unfortunately for them, a very poor refereeing decision there, and off the back of that, Samoa was still in the match. But then what put Australia on the front foot in that first half was it was a really poor kick on the fifth tackle from Luai. He kicked the ball dead by some margin. With Old Trafford, the in goals are very, very tiny. They're some of the tiniest in goals in rugby league when you play in the match, and Luai's kick went quite dead. And off the back of that, Latrell Mitchell got the first try of the game. Good try there from Australia. A bit of a bad read in defence there from Samoa. And then off the back of that, this try really come from nothing. It was just a standard sort of a carry from Addo-Carr. He caught the Samoan markers a bit short there. I think it was Luai and Oregon Kafusi, I think. And Addo-Carr just sprinted through, knocked both of them over, passed the ball back on the inside of Tedesco. After that, Liam Martin scored a try. This was another good pass, which got Martin in the space, and he crashed over to score a try. Apparently he's 25-year-old, Liam Martin, but he looks about 40. He's the eldest 25-year-old I've ever seen in my life. So at half-time there, Australia were up 14 points to 0 over Samoa. Second half, in that first set that Samoa got the ball, they lost it. And I went, well, here we go again. I mean, first half, they weren't particularly at their best. Samoa, they did a couple of daft plays, a couple of errors, kicked the ball dead a couple of times, and then after that I went, oh, here we go. But then Australia, second half, I don't think that they were as good as they were in the first half. I think they made a lot of uncharacteristic errors. I know there was a couple of knock-ons, a forward pass. I know Latrell Mitchell lost the ball, or he played the ball incorrectly. I mean, that's just schoolboy stuff, that. Taylor May made a half break in the second half, towards probably the 10-minute mark of the second half there. Then another controversial moment happened. Australia threw a forward pass, but then Angus Crichton, for some reason, I don't know why he decided to do this, but he decided to elbow Chanel Harris-Tavita in the head. He hits the ground like a fallen tree. They review it. Angus Crichton sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes. Yellow card, professional foul. It was just totally needless. I don't know why he decided to do that, and off the back of that, Chanel Harris-Tavita didn't come back for the rest of the game, and I think that's probably going to be his last ever match as a rugby player, because he did say that he were retiring after this World Cup. But then in that 10 minutes when Australia were a man down, like what happened last week with England against Samoa, Samoa didn't score any points when that Australian player was off. Off the back of that, Samoa were building some pressure. Munster comes up with another typical ball steal that we're all used to seeing in the NRL. Off the back of that, Cameron Murray gets a try, and then this could have been a turning point in the match, but luckily for Australia it didn't happen. But Angus Crichton, he gets a kick off Addo-Carr. Addo-Carr raced down the wing there, kicked the ball back on the inside. Angus Crichton, all he had to do was just catch the ball and fall over the line. He fumbles the ball. As a result, off the back of that, Brian Toto scores for Samoa, their first try of the match. And it kind of looked like Samoa were getting back into the game. And I'm thinking, could this Angus Crichton no try really cost Australia, but for them, unfortunately, Tedesco scored another try. This was another brilliant pass. Found Tedesco in the space, he scored. And then towards the end of the game, Stephen Crichton with another customary intercept, something that he's perfected over the last couple of years. Another intercept try in this tournament, and he scores. And for the rest of the game, we were a bit scrappy towards the end, and Australia held on to win their 12th World Cup title. The crowd, 67,000, showed up at Old Trafford to watch this game, which is about 9,000 short of capacity. I think if England would have made the final, it would have been a sellout, but 67,000, decent crowd for a World Cup final, I thought. Not as much as the last time that we hosted the tournament here. There was 73,000 for the Australia against New Zealand final. Australia love playing at Old Trafford. This is their third final at Old Trafford, and a third convincing win for them. I thought for Australia that Tedesco clearly was the man of the match. He deserved the man of the match award. I thought all the Australian players were quite good except for Angus Crichton. I think Angus Crichton had a shocker. Obviously, the elbow to the face of Chanel Harris-Tavita put his side under pressure, and then the bomb try in the second half. For Samoa, I thought that their best player, were Joseph Suaalii. I thought every time that he got the ball, he just ran into the defence 100 miles an hour. Nowhere, self-preservation, fearless when he carried the ball, looked dangerous when he had the ball. I thought that Junior Paulo was very good. I thought some of his carries were very impressive. But I thought some players for Samoa, like Brian To'o, made a couple of crucial errors. Yes, he did score a try, but I thought that some of them errors that he made really hurt Samoa. I thought Jerome Luai didn't have his best game. I thought that he was pretty well contained by Australia. Also about this match, it was really strange with the crowd. The crowd was pro-Samoan, and you can see lots of people with England shirts on in the crowd cheering on Samoa, and I'm thinking, why would you do that, especially when they knocked us out last week? And then, of course, the way that their fans have carried on during the week, lots of them on social media saying some very distasteful things about England and the royal family and all that. So I was thinking to myself, must be Stockholm syndrome or something like that, because I don't understand why, as an England supporter, why you'd cheer on Samoa. But in the end, Australia champions again. Disappointing that England didn't make the final, a bit deflating still, but I thought overall the tournament were okay. Some of the crowds in the opening rounds were disappointing, but I think overall, especially when it got to the semi-final stage, the semi-final matches were good, and I thought that the final wasn't as going to be a blowout like I thought it were. I think at the start of the match I tipped Australia to win by 14 points, but some people had Australia by 30, 40 points. But I thought overall, I mean, Samoa tried. Let's put it that way. So they tried, but at the end of the day, Australia were just too good. So anyways, everyone, that's been my review of the Australia against Samoa Rugby League World Cup final. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. I'll be coming up with more videos during the week. Stay tuned for those. And thanks to everyone that supported this channel throughout the entire Rugby League World Cup. I've gained a lot of subscribers, a lot of new viewers, lots of views, and I've had fun doing all the videos throughout the entire tournament. So thanks for supporting the channel. Anyways, this has been Rugby League History, and I'll catch you all later in the next one. Alright, tatty bye for now.